Hey, Batman.
Batman. Is it hard to say? It's hard?
I was doing it before.
That's funny.
You had your sick voice that day.
Shit, what is
That's definitely the COVID voice.
COVID voice?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's try that one more time,
Oh
okay?
God, okay. Hold on, I need to take one earphone.
Okay.
Keeps me satisfied to show me love. I want your love. Show me love. I need your love. Show me love. Just show me, show me, show me, show me love. I want your love. Show me love. I need your love. Show me love. Show me love. Just show me, show me, show me.
Yes. Batman.
Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Karima here, and I'm back with another video. This one is a bit of a more educational video, more informational if you will, on how I prepare for my studio sessions. I know some of you may be new to going to the studio or just wanting to go record in the studio but don't really know how to go about it. For this video, I will be letting you know my tips and tricks, what I do to prepare for the studio. Now for me, I'm a Virgo, so that should explain enough. I'm very I need to have everything organized. I am a perfectionist in a sense because I just want to execute it very well. When it comes to me, I do a lot of pre-planning before I go to the studio, just so I feel more confident when I step into the booth, so everything can run smooth, run fast, have an efficient studio session, essentially. So before we get into that, I will say go ahead and like and subscribe to this video for more content like this. I will be sharing more of my music journey on this channel, just kind of anything I want on this channel, just whatever is fun to me. So that's what this channel is about. And also feel free to go follow my social media. I am on Instagram, and that's where you can find any updates on any new music that I have coming out or any new projects or whatever in general. Feel free to go on and do that. Let's get into the video. So before going to the studio, you want to do as much as you can prior to going into the studio. So you want to have your lyrics ready, you want to have your beat ready, any ad-libs, you want to already have that down. Sometimes you can come up with things in the studio, but for the most part you want a, I guess, demo, if that makes sense, so that you know how you want it to sound and how you want it to go, basically. And my engineer actually told me this: whatever songwriting should be left at home. Okay, you do not want to be writing in the studio unless you're a person that freestyles and is used to that. Then go ahead and do it, but for the most part I'm not a freestyler. I do my songwriting at home, but the more that you could do at home before going to the studio, the more time you'll have in the studio and the better it can execute in the studio. Apps that I like to use to create my demos or to just record any ad-libs or just to see how it would sound in the studio, I like to use BandLab. I also like to use Spire, and you can also use voice notes if you like for just little things here and there, but to get the whole totality and to have an actual demo, I do suggest BandLab and I do suggest Spire, because you're able to insert multiple tracks on the app. So you have voice tracks and then you have your beat as well, so you'll be able to do that with BandLab and Spire. So it allows me to stack my vocals, add effects, and the instrumental, and it kind of just gives me an idea of how it may sound in the studio potentially. This honestly saves me a tremendous amount of time before going into the studio. The next thing that I also suggest is to buy the proper lease for your song. You want either a lease with track stems or an exclusive lease. The reason that you want track stems is because when you receive the downloadable file from either BeatStars or whatever source they're using to loan these beats, you get track stems with this downloadable file, which is super useful for the engineer and for your song in general because it will sound very leveled, if that makes sense, because all the instruments will be in that file specifically. You want to have those because your engineer, when he is mixing and mastering your song, he's also doing the same for your beat and for the instruments that are also on the beat. This is just to kind of make everything sound equal, to make it sound leveled, to be equal alongside your voice. So I highly suggest that you get your track stems or an exclusive lease as well. And what I just began to do recently is I send over my beat to my engineer a few hours before my session with him, or the day before, just so he can have it and he can listen to it and see how it sounds like. Now, when it comes to going to the studio, you ultimately want to be on time. You want to be punctual. Be respectful for the time and money that you spent, as well as the engineer's time. If you want to have time to be able to work on your song, then ultimately
Be on time.
that's it. On time means arriving at least 15 minutes earlier, 10 minutes earlier, just so you guys have time to set up so that you can jump straight into the booth when that time comes, basically. So yeah, definitely be punctual and be on time for the engineer and for yourself. Another thing that I like to do is I like to bring my songbook with me, only because I'll be able to write notes. I'll be able to follow the lyrics. Try to memorize your lyrics before going to the studio, but if you want to, definitely bring your songwriting book with your song in it if you need it for lyrics and things like that, and also for any notes that you may want to take throughout the whole process, things you want to add, things you want to take away, things like that. On the topic of bringing your songbook, another thing that I ultimately love to do is I like to write down the timestamps of places that I'm adding ad-libs, places that I'm adding stacks on, or doubles, and little sound effects that I want to add into the song. I feel like it just helps the engineer go straight to that spot instead of being like, oh, the chorus here, the verse here. I like to just have the specific time as to where I want that ad-lib or that sound effect, whatever it is. So that's kind of what I like to do as well. I just feel like honestly that makes it the fastest way to get things done as well for me. I like to just write those timestamps down. So that's actually a really good suggestion. I always do that. That's kind of just how I operate. I'm writing down my timestamps and things like that. So hopefully that will help you guys in your process as well. That's pretty much it for my process and how I prepare. I just kind of make sure I get enough rest the night before. I'm not doing anything to kind of hurt my voice, if that makes sense. So no screaming. Drink some tea, drink some water, stay hydrated throughout your session and prior to your session. No spicy foods, no dairy, like things like that. These all play a huge factor in your execution in your studio session as well. To take care of your voice and to feel confident in everything. Also, try to warm up before you head into the studio.
Take care of yourself.
And overall, just have fun. I know that in the studio it can be kind of intimidating for some of y'all if you're just starting out. I know I was. Usually you can bring somebody in the studio with you, so try to bring someone close to you that you feel comfortable to be around, that can give suggestions, maybe another music artist, you know, someone that just makes you feel comfortable, because being a music artist in general is a vulnerable thing to do, a very brave thing to do. So yeah, just try to bring someone that gives you that good feeling, good spirits, good energy, and just has good vibes. And hopefully find an engineer that you like, that also can make you feel comfortable, make you feel safe, and can also give suggestions as well. I know that my studio does that for me, so I hope that you guys can also have the same experience, especially as a woman, you know, and being in a studio. I know safety is a big thing and being comfortable is a big thing, and find a studio that suits you and that you feel safe to be in. I think that is it for this video. I hope I didn't miss anything. If anything, I'll make a part 2 of what I do before I go to the studio And I'm going to show you guys some clips as well throughout this video of my studio sessions as well, so that you guys can see how we operate and what shenanigans happen. I'll say overall, just have fun. Don't let your nerves get to you. Sometimes I get nervous in the beginning of my sessions, but then I kind of get into the flow of things once I start hearing how it sounds and liking it, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm excited. So yeah, just have fun overall in your studio session. Have fun in your studio session. Hopefully this was a helpful video for you guys. It's kind of short and sweet. I really hope that this video can help you guys as music artists. I'm welcome to give my tips and advice and suggestions. I haven't been doing this long, but you know, along the way I've learned so much in going to the studio and learning different vocabulary, things like that. So let me know if you guys want a part 2. I would love to do that for you guys, and please like, comment, and subscribe again for more content like this. So yeah, I thank you guys for watching, and I wish you guys a lot of success along the way. Peace, y'all.
Turn to you, trust how I feel.